Cam Robinson has been traded to the Minnesota Vikings. Was this a cool move or a fool move by the Jaguars? We'll go into it right here on the Jaguar Podcast. What's good, everybody? It's Andrew coming back at you with another episode, and we will be covering a recent roster move this week. I believe it was Wednesday. It was announced that left tackle Cam Robinson is being traded to the Minnesota Vikings for a 2025 fifth-round pick that can actually turn into a fourth-round pick, depending on play time. And I don't know the specifics of that, but I think it's obviously the more he plays this season for the Vikings, that could lead to a fourth-round pick. So is this a cool move or a fool move by the Jaguars? I think it's a fool move, and I really think it's a fool move because of the deal. There was a tweet that came out. I retweeted it on my X or Twitter page, whatever you call it now. And I believe the Jaguars, they'll be trading Robinson to the Vikings, but they will actually be picking up $7 million of Robinson's salary, and the Vikings will only be picking up $1 million. And that just sounds like a bad deal to me, man. And that's got Trent Baalke written all over it. And I'll tell you what, it stinks for the Jaguars considering, what they paid this guy, I feel like he's been an average left tackle at best. He hasn't played a full season of football since I think 2020, and if you want to go in depth and go into the field, or excuse me, go into the film for Cam Robinson, go visit the late Uche Nwaneri's YouTube page. I'll put a link to it in the description. He does a really good film breakdown of Cam Robinson and his pass protection, and his pass sets. But for a guy that they franchise tagged twice throughout his career and then paid him a really nice extension, I don't think we got the production out of him at all. Again, I think, he's average at best. He's injury prone. And that's going to affect this trade, obviously, right? The deal, because that's going to affect the draft compensation we get. Right now we just have a 2025 fifth-round pick that could turn into a fourth, but it's not going to turn into a fourth if Cam Robinson's hurt. And he's always hurt. He's always injured. He was coming off the concussion protocol last week. Then apparently, I guess, there are rumors that he didn't want to play in this game against the Packers when he heard he wasn't starting. That's been a rumor that's been kind of flying around, I think, on social media and the news. But, man, we don't really get anything immediately in this deal. I mean, we get a 2025 draft pick, but a fifth-rounder, which, honestly, I think it's kind of meh, I just I don't feel that good about this deal. I mean, Trent Baalke loves fifth and sixth round, late round picks, and a lot of the times those picks don't have a lot of roster impact. I mean, it's kind of like a diamond in the rough that those late round picks actually hit. So, that leaves us with Walker Little right now, who will be, filling in for Cam Robinson at left tackle, who I think is a decent player. He just hasn't gotten enough reps at that position. I think a lot of people dog him, but, I think he plays pretty well. I think he's a decent player. So it'll be interesting to see what the Jaguars do from here, right? Do they decide to move Anton Harrison, who's really his natural position is left tackle? Do they move him over to left and then Walker to right? I don't know. I mean, I don't think it matters really, because I know that Walker can play both sides. So, I mean, the issue is that if Walker Little gets hurt, we really don't have much depth at the tackle position. I think we have Javon Foster, who was a late round pick in this year's draft. So, you know, he didn't have a really good preseason either. So, you know, it'll be interesting. I think it's Blake Hance can play tackle. I think he might be the other backup. Either that or Cole Van Lanen. I get them mixed up because sometimes tackles can play guard too. So, but, you know, I feel like we just don't have a lot of depth at that position right now. So that could be a concern. We might be drafting again at the tackle spot. Lord knows we need help at the offensive line. More than the interior, I feel like, with you know, Brandon Sheriff, he's getting up there. So we'll likely need to draft a guard in next year's draft and some interior linemen. But yeah, I just don't feel like this was a good deal. I feel like we should have gotten something more in return, maybe a higher draft pick, you know, maybe something in the third or second or third round maybe, or, you know, a player that was going to help us in return immediately this season. But it's looking like the season's going to be a wash anyways, and we'll be talking about the draft soon. But how do you guys feel? Do you think this was fair compensation for Cam Robinson? Let me know on the in the YouTube comments. Also, you know, or leave me a comment on the podcast episode too. If you enjoyed this episode, hit the like button. Always helps me with the YouTube algorithm. And if you enjoy my work, hit that subscribe button. But yeah, Cam Robinson goes to the Vikings, and we get the bulky masterclass as always. But hope you guys are doing well, and I'll see you next time.
Duval! What's up, everybody? It's Andrew from the Jaguar Podcast. Hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel as always. And remember, this is a podcast, so you can find this pretty much wherever you find podcasts. Subscribe to it. Go Jags, and I'll see you next time.